Hey guys, it's been a while. This is D.I.D. Choi, and today I've been sent a microphone by a company called Maono. Maono? It is a dynamic wireless microphone, so the wireless part really intrigued me, so I wanted to check it out and let you guys know what I think about it. So let's go. The Maono PD100W is the next generation wireless microphone specifically designed for gaming live streaming scenarios. It has a bi-directional wireless transmission technology. Yada yada yada. It works with cameras, USB-C phones, and lightning. And it has this one-touch noise reduction function, so we'll see how well that works. And it has a 3.5mm headphone output for audio playback or monitoring. It has a signature smart knob that allows microphone gain and headphone volume. So it's going to be something really good for streamers or gamers or people making videos like this, maybe even. If you want your camera a little far away, it's going to be very interesting. It looks like it has some kind of stuff included, so it has these different adapters included, which is going to be really useful. So I'll be able to use this with a computer, a phone, or even this camera right now. So that's going to be cool. Let's open it up. The flap goes out like that. Ta-da! There we go. We have our user manual, a card that shows a bunch of quick steps of how to set it up. We have the microphone itself. And we have the various receivers. So if we open up this little box, we have our USB to TRS cable. We have our little USB-C wireless receiver. We get a USB-A to USB-C cable. Interesting. And a little desk stand thing. So that will fit kind of just like this onto our little microphone. So that's perfect for a little desktop setup. Awesome. They also include a little microphone stand adapter thingy. Oh, I see. So apparently you don't get all of the TRS and lightning options. You get one of the three. So in this case, they sent me the USB-C version, which will go nicely into a phone or a computer or an iPad. So that's convenient. I don't know if it actually works for the camera I'm using right now. It's a Canon R8. So that'll take a little bit of experimenting. Let's see how it works. Okay, so this is the wireless microphone now. How does it sound? I haven't listened to the audio sample yet. This is the first time recording with it. Right now, I have it connected to my phone using the wireless transmitter right here on the bottom. And I'm using the Rode Reporter app, which records nice WAV files onto my iPhone rather than the voice memo app. So it should have a nice time singing to the audio on my camera. So how does it sound? How are the plosives? I have no idea. Plosives, cool. It does have a pretty nice grill head that feels pretty thick, so maybe like the SM7B, which it looks like they're kind of trying to emulate with the look of it. It'll be pretty good with plosives, maybe? Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So one thing I had trouble with as I was setting up this mic is that if you tap this little headphone icon right here, it actually mutes the audio. There you can see it turned red, and that basically changes the mode, so it mutes the audio, I believe, and maybe it activates the headphone or something like that. So the microphone is a cardioid pattern. It uses USB-C. It's rated up to 94 decibels SPL. There's 3 levels of noise reduction, so I should probably check that out. A max SPL of 125 dB, a frequency response from 50 to 18 kilohertz, gain range from 0 to 36, monitor sensitivity, blah, 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 blah. Output impedance of the headphone jack is 32 ohms, so that's good to know. It has a pretty big looking battery, I think. It lasts apparently 25 hours with the RGB on. And if you turn off the lights here, you can get 40 hours out of it. So that's a pretty good battery life. And it could work up to 50 meters under light of sight conditions. I just forgot that this is a wireless microphone. I can just get up from my seat and walk around. So should we try that? How does it sound? Does it sound good still? Check 1, 2. Hope it still sounds good. I'm gonna go into my closet here. Wonder if you can still hear me. Check, check, 1, 2. Can you still hear me? There's two doors in between me and the iPhone that I'm recording with. Maybe there's a bunch of interference at this point. I'm probably well under 50 meters, but there it is not a clear line of sight. Let's see. Hopefully it still sounds good. So the transmitting distance is quite good too. At 50 meters line of sight, you should have basically no problem if you're just sitting at your desk, maybe with a little bit of distance from whatever you're plugged into, and if you're using it for streaming, podcasting, video calls, or anything like that. So that's a real perk of a wireless microphone. You can just walk around. I could swap this lens to something else. Actually, let's do that right now. All right, so now I'm on a 50 millimeter lens and I'm pretty far from the camera, but I still have a good amount of room beside me. But because I have this wireless microphone, I'm able to have theoretically crystal clear audio. Does it sound good? Am I still very nice and intimate with you guys? Does it sound like I have a professional sound system going with me? I don't know, you tell me, but it is certainly a very convenient factor of having a wireless microphone. I don't know what the handling noise is like. Are you getting a lot of like crumply sounds right now? Because it is a plastic build, it does have a little bit of handling noise. If you're just holding it like I am right now, just at the bottom, without moving too much, it's not much of an issue I've found. And if you have it attached to a stand, obviously no worries at all. As long as I keep a pretty consistent distance, it sounds good. Maybe even if I have it a little far away, it should still sound pretty good at this distance. Now, if I switch to my camera mic, this is what I sound like at this distance. It's not going to sound very clean, even though I have a professional microphone on top of my camera. It's just not as clean as having a close up microphone right next to my face, right in front of my mouth. All right, let's try the AI noise reduction now. So I'm going to turn on the AC. Alexa, turn on the AC. So now you can hear that the AC is on. Now I'm going to toggle through the different AI modes. So this is totally off. If I go to mode 1, you can hear a little bit of a reduction. How does my voice sound? Does it sound less natural? I do feel like I'm hearing some of the artifacts. It kind of feels muffled and choked almost. Let's try another 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is basically at full AI noise reduction. How is it? Let me try putting the mic a little bit farther away to give it a harder time. How is it at this distance? Is it canceling out the AC and keeping my voice intact? Do you hear some kind of unnaturalness in my voice against the AC? Let me know down in the comments. I want to touch on latency. A lot of the time, if you see cheap wireless gear, it's often Bluetooth, which has like, 2 to 300 milliseconds of latency, and it's basically unusable for anything that you're doing live or that's time sensitive. The case with this microphone is that it is actually on the 2.4 gigahertz band, which means it should basically have zero latency. So according to Maono, the latency is around the 10 to 20 millisecond range, which is below the perceivable hearing range of latency that a human being can hear. Some people claim that they can hear it, but honestly, did you know that for every foot of distance you are from a speaker, that is a millisecond of latency? So if you're 10 feet away from your guitar amp, for example, that's 10 milliseconds of latency. I don't think most people are actually noticing that. So for me, I've always thought that somewhere below 30 milliseconds is basically instantaneous. And once you start getting above that, the onset interval from my music schooling days starts to become perceptible as some kind of different interval rather than a timbral or positional change. As a result, if I play music on my phone, it actually gets transmitted to this device, comes through the headphones into my ears right here. And I can play like a click track or something because I often play drums live. And if I press a click track, I want it to be in time, right? If it goes off mid song, I can stop it and start it on the beat. Now, if I was using Bluetooth, if I started right on the beat, it actually wouldn't be on the beat. It would almost be like an eighth note off, depending on what tempo it is. With this, it's basically instantaneous, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. But if you see it, if I go 2, 3, 4, click, You can see it flashing exactly continuing at the pattern that I was going at. I can hear it and it's exactly where I expected it to be. So latency is basically totally usable live. So the receiving latency basically from my phone to the device is basically negligible and is totally usable. Now to demonstrate the transmitting latency, let's do another metronome test with me clapping to a click track on the computer. So as you can see, these were my buffer settings. I had around 11 milliseconds of latency, around 30 to 50 milliseconds of latency. Let's do a little cut here. So if I nudge it by 10 millisecond increments, you can see it's about 4 to 5 nudges. Now, if you look at some of these later ones, these are actually right on time. So that might be me compensating. The other ones might have been some human error. I'm not 100% consistent, even with the best settings. Now, I should mention that I also did this test with just my regular wired setup with the same buffer settings, and I actually was slightly ahead of the beat for that. So there is a little bit of extra latency on the microphone for a studio setting, but if you're using this for gaming or streaming or anything like that, it's basically negligible. No one's going to really be bothered by any lip syncing issues. It will be totally fine. Now, another cool thing to know about this microphone is that it comes with its own app, Maono Link, on the App Store. So it has a lot of different functions. You can change the microphone gain, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can change the headphone monitor ball volume. I can adjust the noise reduction within the app. So moderate, aggressive, slight, and off. And this is where the cool stuff begins. So it has these 4 different scene modes. Original, so nothing is done to the microphone. And then there's this game preset. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's check out stream. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it gives that nice radio condenser mic almost type of EQ curve. I hear a lot of highs in my in-ears right now. And then check out sing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Canada. And folk. Check, check. 1, 2. Oh, Canada. So, not a big fan of that reverb. I would probably use something a little different, but it's nice to have. So if you're just streaming and you suddenly feel like singing, have a little reverb and that'll help you. So let's just do a quick back-to-back comparison of the 4 modes. I won't go through all the sub-modes. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. You can also adjust the lights in the app. So if I turn the lights off, that'll give me 40 hours of battery life. Otherwise, I can turn it on. I can change the brightness. I can change the color. Bam, 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 bam. Let's use purple now. Oh, you can also set it to different things, so it can change between a bunch of different colors. It can be fixed to one. And by default, it's set on breathing, so it's just kind of pulsing in and out. And that's a nice, very nice touch. It looks really nice. So in a real-life streaming or video conferencing kind of world, how does it sound to the person on the other end? Let's check that out on Zoom. All right, so how does it sound on a Zoom call? So I'm recording the Zoom call right now, and this is what I would sound like on this call. Now, your settings do matter. I have a very old video on Zoom settings for musicians, but it basically talks about the different types of audio settings that Zoom has, because Zoom has its own layer of audio compression and processing and noise reduction. So right now, because I often do some playing or some musical stuff on Zoom calls, I have my settings on original musician sound. Original sound for musicians with no echo cancellation and high fidelity music mode. I can also use regular noise removal. So this is the setting that most people will probably be on. And this is what it sounds. There are a couple different ways to do background suppression. And if you're using this microphone, I'd probably recommend using the built-in AI noise removal. But this is what it sounds like with high background suppression. You might not notice too much of a difference because I am in a pretty quiet space, but I don't know. So you and future me will have to tell me. So going back to the original musician sound, for me, assuming you are pretty close to the microphone, having the original settings in high fidelity music mode is probably going to be best. But that'll of course only work if you have headphones in. Yeah, if you have the other person talking through speakers, it's going to pick up them talking and it's not going to cancel that out. If you do want to use external speakers rather than headphones, then you want to stick to some of the more standard noise removal modes with echo cancellation built in. So who's this for? If you're a gamer that hates cables or a creator that loves to pace around and talk, the PD100W is a steal at roughly around $89.90. If you are concerned, you can use the USB cable as a hardwire to your computer and use it like any other USB microphone. But also having the wireless mode with 40 hours of battery life max without the lights turned on, that is phenomenal. And it works on the 2.4 GHz frequency band. So just a quick note on the 2.4 GHz band. It is the same frequency band that most Wi-Fi routers use, and it is the most crowded, which is why this is at $89.90. It's an affordable microphone in an affordable wireless range. So 2.4 can be pretty crowded if you use it in somewhere with a lot of people, with a lot of devices connected to a lot of different networks. And that is just the way it is. If you want a truly high quality wireless device that works in most scenarios, you want to get something like a Shure Accent or the top Sennheiser models, stuff like that, right? For this purpose, where you want convenience, easy pairing to the transmitter, lots of battery life, this light, easy form factor, an affordable price tag, 2.4 is going to be the most balanced bet. Other than that, having the AI noise reduction, a lifesaver in any situation that you need to be in. Now keep in mind that the AI noise reduction isn't some kind of magic trick where, it just magically gets rid of all noise and isolates just your voice. You have to still be in a somewhat quiet environment for it to work its best and sound as natural as possible. It can sound a little over-processed if you're making it work very hard. So the Maono PD100W is a fantastic all-rounder, affordable USB microphone that is also packed with a lot of features, including the noise reduction, the different scenes and streaming modes, the lights, etc, etc. So thank you once again, Maono, for sending me this microphone to test and review. I should say that all the thoughts in the video are my own and they did not really have a say in this video and what I say. They just sent me the microphone and that was it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, please leave a comment down below. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This has been D.I.D. Choi, and I'll see you in the next one.